IDF forces locate and destroy Hamas terror tunnels in residential areas in Gaza.
Here's a summary of the article.
The IDF named Chief Sergeant Yaakov Ozeri as the latest fatality in the fighting in Gaza and says 32 of its force have been killed since the ground offensive began. The U.S. House of Representatives voted late on Tuesday to censure Democrat Rashida Tlaib for promoting false narratives on the Hamas October 7 attack on Israel and calling for the destruction of the State of Israel, in a 234 to 188 vote after 22 Democrats joined most Republicans. U.S. President Joe Biden said on Tuesday evening that he asked Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for a pause in fighting in Gaza during a call on Monday. A White House spokesperson previously said the two leaders discussed the potential for tactical pauses in fighting in Gaza for humanitarian reasons and possible hostage releases during their conversation on Monday. The White House also indicated that the United States would oppose a reoccupation of Gaza by Israel's military in post-conflict Gaza. White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby told reporters Tuesday that the U.S. is talking to Israel about the day after the war in Gaza and that Hamas cannot be part of this equation. Kirby also acknowledged that Hamas has genocidal intentions against the residents of Israel. Kirby said that Israel and the United States are friends and do not have to agree on every single issue. IR defenses intercepted a suspicious aerial target identified approaching Israeli airspace from Lebanon, the IDF said on Tuesday.
This post received a score of 5,900, with an upvote ratio of 86%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
To the surprise of no one, I'm just amazed that this isn't getting more attention here. At least USA. This was noteworthy, I thought. As part of the ground operations in the Gaza Strip, the Paratroopers Brigade led a targeted operation in northern Gaza, during which the soldiers completed taking control of the area, the IDF spokesman said Tuesday evening. During the operation, the soldiers exposed the shaft of an underground tunnel adjacent to an amusement park. In cooperation with soldiers of the Armored Corps from the Divisional Combat Team of the 7th Brigade, an underground tunnel shaft and a weapons warehouse were found near a university, containing chemical materials, RPGs, claymore mines and more. This is all further evidence of Hamas' cynical use of the civilian population and various facilities as a human shield for its needs, the IDF said.
Hamas loves putting their weapons right under civilian living spaces.
Hamas is very open about their willingness to sacrifice Palestinian lives. Well done.
I will reserve my well done until they manage to rescue more than one hostage, especially since that one hostage was an IDF soldier, so they have still rescued 0 civilians.
The hostages were dead before the moon was out on the second day.
False. If that was so, then Qatar wouldn't have been able to negotiate the release of 4 American hostages on October 20, roughly 2 weeks after the attack. These hostages have value to Hamas and previous hostage situations have resulted in exchanges for imprisoned members of Hamas, so Hamas has a pretty strong incentive to keep them alive.
Okay, so doesn't that negate your first point?
What do you mean? If you mean my prior point that the IDF shouldn't be praised until they can rescue more than just one soldier. That still holds because these were released via Qatar's negotiations, acting on the USA's behalf. Israel, as far as we can tell, and admittedly the exact terms are not known, but Israel has not released any prisoners or let up in their bombardments, had nothing to do with it. We do know the Egypt plus Red Cross negotiations with Hamas, which also got hostages freed, involved bribing them with humanitarian aid that Israel has been trying to block.
I can't believe anyone is defending Hamas terrorists hiding in tunnels and using human shields. The mental gymnastics are astounding.
They believe killing even one civilian in a military strike is against the Geneva Conventions. Truth is, the conventions only specify to minimize civilian collateral damage and not deliberately target them. They also insist that Hamas tactics like using human shields, putting munitions in schools and hospitals, killing and kidnapping civilians, and butchering and decapitating babies are not war crimes. What's more, when Hamas uses human shields, for instance hiding in or storing munitions in a school, when Israel destroys these, those civilian deaths are Hamas' fault.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.